He built a bank to serve everyone until he walked in dressed as a nobody. Now, with security threatening to escort him out and customers filming the chaos, the boss drops a bombshell that changes everything. Would you stand up or walk away? Marcus Carter grew up in a small apartment with his mom working two jobs just to keep the lights on. He swore he'd never forget what it felt like to be ignored, to be treated like you didn't matter. Now, at 42, he owned three banks across Chicago. His face was on billboards, his name in headlines. But today, he wasn't Marcus Carter, CEO. Today, he wore faded jeans, a plain white t-shirt, and a baseball cap pulled low. No watch, no suit, no hint of the man who signed paychecks. He stepped into the downtown branch of Carter Trust Bank, a place he designed to feel welcoming. Bright lights, friendly signs, free coffee. But the second he walked in, the air changed. A security guard near the door eyed him up and down, then turned away. The tellers behind the counter, three women in crisp blouses, glanced at him, then kept chatting. A white couple in business clothes walked in behind Marcus. Instantly, a teller waved them over. "Good morning. How can we help you today?" Marcus stood near the "Wait Here" sign, hands in his pockets. 5 minutes passed. 10. Customers came and went. An older man in a suit got a handshake and a laugh from the manager. A young mom with a stroller was handed a lollipop for her toddler. Marcus stayed invisible. Finally, he walked to an open teller. "I'd like to open a savings account," he said. The teller, name tag Jessica, didn't smile. "You need an appointment for that." "Your website says no appointment needed." She shrugged. "Not for high-value accounts. You can apply online." Marcus glanced at the man next to him, wearing a polo and khakis, opening an account with no questions. "What's the minimum deposit?" $500. He pulled out a wad of cash, $2,000, from his pocket. "I've got it right here." Jessica froze. Her eyes flicked to the money, then to his face. Let me get the manager." The manager, a tall man with slicked back hair, Mr. Daniels on his tag, strolled over. He didn't offer a handshake. "Sir, we're very busy. If you'd like to open an account, I suggest visiting our Southside branch. They handle simpler requests." Marcus clenched his jaw. "This money isn't simple enough?" Mr. Daniels leaned closer, voice sharp. "We have policies. Now please don't make a scene." A scene. The words hung in the air. Marcus reached into his pocket and slid his CEO badge onto the counter. The room went silent. Mr. Daniels' face drained of color. "Mr. Carter, I didn't recognize you." Marcus picked up his badge, staring at the staff now frozen in place. "That's the problem." He turned to the customers watching, the guard nervously shifting his feet, and said, "This bank was built for everyone. But today, some of you decided who everyone is. That ends now." The room buzzed with whispers. Marcus pulled out his phone, dialed his assistant, and said loud enough for all to hear, "Shut down this branch." Effective immediately. Everyone goes through retraining, or they're gone. Mr. Daniels sputtered, "You can't just watch me." Marcus walked out, the glass doors swinging behind him. Outside, he texted his team, "Audit every branch. Today." Some people needed to lose everything to learn respect. The next morning, the news exploded. Videos of Marcus shutting down the branch went viral. Headlines screamed, "CEO fires own staff for racism." Social media split. Some called him a hero, others accused him of overreacting. But Marcus didn't care about hashtags. He cared about the older woman who'd called his office crying, saying a teller once mocked her accent, or the college kid denied a student account because his hoodie looked suspicious. At 7 a.m., Marcus stormed into the bank's headquarters. His team handed him folders, pages of complaints buried by managers. One report made him slam his fist on the desk. A single mom was told she couldn't afford a mortgage, only to get approved days later at a rival bank. "Bring every branch manager here, now," Marcus ordered. By noon, 20 managers sat in the boardroom, sweating. Marcus dropped the folders on the table. "These are your customers. These are the people you failed." A manager from the Southside branch raised her hand. "With respect, Mr. Carter, shutting down a branch hurts the community. People need jobs." Marcus leaned forward. "And those people you hired? They're why a grandmother left us for a bank that listens." The room went quiet. That afternoon, Marcus visited the closed downtown branch. Employees stood outside, holding signs, "Unfair firing." Reporters swarmed. Mr. Daniel stepped forward, face red. "You humiliated us. We followed your policies." Marcus crossed his arms. "My policy was respect. You added your own rules." A young teller, Maya, pushed through the crowd. "I tried to help everyone, but Mr. Daniels said to prioritize certain clients. I needed this job. I couldn't risk speaking up." Her voice cracked. Marcus paused. "Then why speak up now?" "Because you were right," she said. "I quit." By week's end, half the staff resigned. The others faced retraining. Marcus hired new employees, people from neighborhoods his banks had ignored. He met with community leaders, apologized publicly, and slashed fees for low-income accounts. But the real test came on Monday. Marcus walked into the reopened downtown branch, this time as himself. An older black man in a worn jacket stood at the counter, nervous. The new teller, a tattooed guy named Jamal, smiled. "Welcome. How can we help you today?" The man hesitated. I need $20 from my savings." "No problem," Jamal said, typing. "How's your day going?" The man blinked, surprised. "Better now." Marcus watched, jaw tight. A woman tugged his sleeve. Maya, the teller who'd quit. "I'm sorry," she said. "I applied at your Southside branch. I'll earn my spot back." Marcus nodded. "Prove it." That night, Marcus sat in his office, exhausted. His assistant handed him a letter, a handwritten note from the single mom who'd been denied the mortgage. "Your bank gave me a second chance. Thank you for seeing us." He pinned it to his wall, next to a photo of his mom. Change wasn't pretty. It cost him money, trust, sleep. But for every manager who quit, 3 applicants fought to replace them. For every hateful comment online, a customer walked in feeling seen. Marcus turned off the lights, locked his office, and drove home. The billboard downtown still flashed his face, but now, beside it, a new slogan: "Banking for all, no exceptions."